I am back down Linear Fisheries on B1. Now I've just rocked up, I've got 24 hours in front of me, that's it, it's pre-Christmas. So I've come over to B1 and I've looked in, and the disabled swim, the left hand side, my favourite peg, is free. Now I haven't just come in just jumping in that peg, there is a backstory behind that. I mean, if I turn you around in a second you'll see exactly why. There's a gentleman down the end, he's had a couple. There's nobody fishing that bank, and this is the next point up from that, so it's looking good. But look at this wind, mate. I'll show you over now, but I wanted to intro, yeah, and I'm going to bring on my journey the next 24 hours here at the famous Linear Fisheries on B1, and I'm going to try and make it happen. I like to call it T's peg, absolutely flooded, and that is closed, and there's a sign here saying it's closed as well, but there's no sign here, which is brilliant, which means I can jump in my favourite peg. And look at that wind, mate. It's pushing down here, it's pushing down. I've seen a fish show when I standed in the peg for about 15-20 minutes. Hence again another reason why I've jumped in, just sort of in line. But again, there's nobody to my right, part in peg one. As long as I'm sensible, the sort of fish sort of a little bit further out, because again, like I said, there is nobody along that bank there whatsoever. Nobody at all. Not even up there in the double as well. That's a good peg. Done some fish in that peg over there. Coot sort of sitting there on top, but isn't it exciting? I'm absolutely buzzing. The stuff's here, my barrow's still over there. But yeah, I better go and get my stuff, get set up, and hopefully nick some Nosser pigs. And the bivvy is set up, so I want to obviously lock onto the water, but I want to have rods on in the water. So my plan of action is, like you see, first thing I've done, set the bivvy up. It is windy out there and I don't want to get cold. You get cold, you want to go home. What I've done is I'm going to tie 3 PVA bags, and I'm going to put them in the vicinity of where I've seen the fish, and then I can sit back and watch the water proactively and know I've got rods in the water, as opposed to just sitting there watching for 2 hours and maybe nicking a bite, finding them. So with that, I can put the rods out, try and find the fish in the meantime. If they're more over to the left or 10 wraps or whatever that may be, I can then act upon it. So that is the plan of action. I've already knocked out 1 bag, and that's ready to tie on, and we are good to go. We've got a magic bean in there, mini mix pellet, a few maggots, and obviously the magic bean, it's a 12mm, it's a pink, and I've got a tiny 4 maggots on top of it, and it sits absolutely beautiful. So where I see them fish earlier, I'm going to punch one of these over there, and I'm going to do that with 3 rods, but spray them because I can then demand more water, because obviously, like I said, there's nobody in front of me. Try and find the fish quicker, and then I can apply bait if I start finding fish. I have got some chops with me. I've got 5 kilo of chops, OG fish chops, that is it. I've got some Scopex flat spot with me, so I'm going to inject the bag with that before I put it out, and that is literally everything I'm doing. So that's the update for now. Without further ado, I'm going to crack on, because I've got 2 more rods to make bags on, and I want to get this rod out. So I'll see you very soon. That is the first rod out. Wind started taking it, so what I've done is put my tip forward and put my hand on the spool, slowed it down, and I watched the line tighten up. Put my tip down straight away, and because I've double bagged it, take that however you want to take it, put 2 PVA bags in one, you can be a little bit more sort of aggressive with it, if you like, and sort of keep your tip down, because you know it's not going to dissolve straight away, the PVA. So that is exactly what I've done. I sort of put the tip down and sort of dragged it a little bit to get that perfect line lay. Tip under, job done, and then put the rod on the right hand side. Rod 1 done, and now it's starting to rain. Not so good, but I'm glad I put the bivvy up first. Right, well there it is, rod number 2, middle rod. Wasn't as happy with that one, the rim really caught it. It's coming down and it's sort of coming in now. I'm not making it easy at all, but again, done the same thing, sunk the line straight away, and then bang, she's lovely, and again, double bagged that. So I'm going to do exactly the same with left hand rod, but I'm going to sort of go in this central body of water. I've also got the flexibility to flick onto zigs when I need to, hence why I just want to get these rods out and start watching the water. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Last rod to go. I'll see you in a bit. Bye. It's coming up to 3 o'clock now, and to be honest with you, I haven't seen nothing, and it's making it really hard because I keep thinking I see fish, but it's not, and then a coot pops up. You've got this massively aggressive chop across the top of the water, banging into sort of peg 1 right down to my right. I'm sure they're having a few down there, but hopefully I can sort of get in on the action tonight. But yeah, I'm in the perfect angle. I'll probably touch base with you now when it's dark, realistically. But like I said, I'm really toying. I've got the zigs at the back of my head, but then I haven't really seen any shows to make me think, yeah, I need to put something in regards to zigs out. Obviously they're catching them from what I know. When I very first come here and spoke to the gentleman in the corner, he said he had a couple and they were both on the bottom. So that says to me, you know, fish bags. But I'm going to keep going, keep watching. What a lovely angle here, lovely and warm in my bivvy, watching that horrible sort of weather out there, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, lovely times on my own here at B1. Adam's just come over as well. He's just taken my money from the ticket. Just like I said, I got 24 hours, 33 quid it was. I'm going to sit back, keep watching, and just hopefully I see something. Fingers crossed. Right, it's coming up to around 6 o'clock now, and I thought I'm going to have some lunch, so I'll quickly go and do the foodie bits for this video. I've got some croissants there with chocolate on them for pudding. I might keep one for the morning, but then they look nice. I couldn't be bothered to cook, so I bought a chicken tikka sandwich there. So I'm going to have that with some crisps, and that is my dinner. Healthy, nutritious dinner, as you can see. But like I said, I don't really care about this. It was a hit and grab, if you like, or grab some bits before I come. And then that is exactly what I've done. I want to eat this, turn all the lights off, and then get locked back onto that water. To be honest with you, I haven't heard anything yet, but like you said, it takes a while for your eyes to adjust. Well, it certainly does me anyway, especially when I have all lights on, so it's going to take a little while. I did redo the rods. I tried 3 different other sections to try and find where they are, and I'm probably going to keep doing that throughout the night. Obviously I probably won't keep you updated every time I'm doing that because it's boring, but that is the plan of action going into this evening. But it is lights out, and I'm going to try and get some head down. I've been watching for sort of 3.5, 4 hours, and you start seeing double out there eventually. I've watched the swans do about 20 laps, it feels like. So again, but no real. I say I heard. I think I heard something right over the back, but shortly after that I heard a coot. So it's one of them really. So no sort of positives that have come from that, but this time of year, literally, if you hear one show and you find them, it could change absolutely everything. So that's what I'm banking on. But I'm going to get up, probably get up through the night. I know what I'm like, but redone the bags again, just redone them. 3 different spots, and just seeing if I can make anything happen. Obviously I'll be up first light without fail, but I'll touch base with you when I do, and if anything exciting happens in between. But at the moment the wind's still aggressive down, it's cloudy above. It feels, I can't even load my phone because I've got no signal down here to see what the temperature is, but it feels very mild out there, to be honest, so that's a bonus. That's a bonus. It definitely isn't freezing cold out there like it was about a week ago. It was Baltic out there, but now it's like feels different. So I'm going to go into the night positive, and like I said, if anything pops up or something exciting happens, you'll be the first to know. Oh, morning. If I'm honest with you, it's just gone 8 o'clock and I'm absolutely knackered. And the reason for that is obviously when I tried to say, yeah, we get some sleep now. I didn't get some sleep. Laid there and watched, and then got up and then standing out there for a little bit more. I heard 4 shows last night, throughout the night. Sort of just get off and then hear a show, so they were all coming from that right hand side. They're right in the bay. I can definitely say that now. I had one, waited half an hour, and about on the half an hour, give or take, I heard it again, and it all sort of fish again to my right. So what am I going to do this morning? I think I'm going to go out for 2 zigs. I'm going to tie up 2 zigs now and flick 2 zigs out straight up. 2 different depths, and then just play about with areas of them and depths today before I leave, and pretty much that is all I'm going to do. I am lagging, to be honest with you. I thought after that clip I'll get a good night's sleep, maybe nick a few fish, deal with the fish, get some video, go back to sleep. But literally I've had the worst broken up sleep I've probably ever had, if I'm honest with you. And then I had a rat, I think, behind me eating a bottle, not in my bivvy but behind the bivvy. So it was constant. I'm gonna strangle that bloody thing in a minute. So yeah, that's another reason why I didn't get any sleep. So anyway, more positive thinking. I'm going to tie up some zigs now. I'm going to tie 2 up. I'm going to do 1 at 8 and 1 at 10. That's what my go-tos in, especially on B1, and both black foam. That's what I'm going to go in with, and a few little Medusas on top of them. So that is the plan of action. And yeah, time to wake up a little bit. Now there is 1 zig out, but this is the Gardener black foam, and there's 1 tip that I can give you on this video so you take something away from you. Is what I do is I chop them into sort of centimetre chunks, save the last little bits, so they look something like that. Now what I do is, I've done this for years, I've trimmed the top off, so I go around with the, so I've doled off the end so it looks a little bit different to a normal bit of foam. I'm going to keep going round, so then you end up with something like that, with dud ends. Now to finishing it off, what I do is I get the scissors and actually push it into the foam, and what that does is it leaves like these little teeth coming out of it like this. The reason for that is because when you do this all over the zig foam, look at this, it makes it come alive almost like a bug. Like I said, I've done this for years, and something that's gave me a massive edge. Then what you can do is then you can pull these bits back like so, and then you're left with something that looks like this. Now when I put this on the baiting needle, if I do it this way, when the fish is looking up at the zig from the bottom, it's now going to see all of them bits there. You can see it, so it kind of looks like that from the bottom. Now the last thing I do is dip that in the magic dust, prick the living death out of it for hours on my sofa, and then finish it off with the flat spot. So I'll put the flat spot on first, sorry, and then I finish it with the magic dust. Put the magic dust on normally sort of just before I cast, but that's something that I've done for years. I'm not trying to recreate the wheel here, but it works for me, and that has done me a hell of a lot of bites. Look at it, it even looks like a bug, doesn't it, on the end of that? So yeah, food for thought. Get in the comments down below if you do go out and use this on the bank, and it's put a fish on the bank, because that would make me happy, that would. So there it is, a little bit more of an insight and a tip that you should definitely use in your zig angling, 110%. Well, I had to slip my hand a little bit there in the spool, but yeah, it went out nice, to be fair. And I had to go with a PVA bag on 1 rod, so a PVA bag on the right hand rod, exactly the same setup, magic beans. The other 2 are on a zig. I'm going to watch for the next couple of hours and just, like I said, stay positive. You got Christmas next week, it is what it is. Like I said, it was only a quick one, and I know I ain't been fishing well. And what I will say is, on that note, Rob and Lee were up here, and we've done a video on the channel last week's upload. So again, when you watch this video, scroll back 5 or 6 videos and you'll see Rob on the thumbnail, and I think it says 38.5, I think his fish was. Lovely fish, and you've probably seen a little bit of the B-roll now of him catching this fish with Lee. Unbelievable, unbelievable. Very good angling, very, very hard. Was here for a few days, nothing. Put a bag out. At the time there wasn't a chop on the water. Put a bag out and it scared a load of fish on top, so instantly put a zig out within minutes. He's had a bite, and it was a good one as well, and his biggest fish of the year. So Rob, well done when you're watching this, mate. You're doing better than me at the moment, I tell you that. Great video, and definitely some tips along the way within that video as well from Lee and Rob, so definitely check that one out. So I'm going to sit back now. I ain't got my, you know what, I'm terrible, my gas is run out. I've got that with me today. Bad, isn't it? It's not great, is it? So I got out to my coffee this morning. I would have preferred a lovely caramel latte or something, but stupid Ben didn't bring any gas because it was rush. Like I said yesterday, not only did I rush to get my gear, I rushed to get up, rush to get my gear, rush to get the some maggots, or two, and on that note I got £2 worth of maggots from Angling Direct as well. £2, half a pint, and that was just enough to put a few in my PVA bag and a couple on the top of them zigs. So it just goes to show you don't need to spend loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of money, and that could do loads and loads and loads and loads of bites. Again, if you're on a tight budget, that's my personal opinion. As long as you've got something in that PVA bag, you know, 2 or 3 maggots on the top of a zig is going to give you an edge without a shadow. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. I need this, and I'll touch base with you in a few hours, and hopefully when I got a fish. Well, it ain't looking good, if I'm honest with you. I've been non-stop the last sort of few hours. I've went from 4s, 6, 8s, and I've had 10s out as well. And I've done that in 2 different spots with 2 different zigs. I've been just playing about the depths and obviously playing about with spots. Nothing, not wow. I had a couple of liners on the middle rod, I can't lie, that was it. And then with my right hand rod, my PVA bag, I've been sort of moving that around as well, so it's just a bit gutting really, because it's really playing on me now. Not getting much sleep last night. I'm absolutely drained, knackered if I'm honest with you. Looking over, been sort of observing, watching the water as I've been sort of in between doing what I've been doing, and I look over the other side where it's flooded, where nobody's on at the moment. About 25 minutes ago I see 2 blokes come down, and they walk right down to the 2 end pegs where the wind's smashing down that end, sort of primarily in that corner, and they flick 2 rods out. I've watched them do it, and within about 10 minutes they've had one. So fair play to them. The fish are definitely down that end, and to be honest with you, as I've obviously watched that, I've been watching that bit of water, and I've seen 2 shows right in front of them pegs, fish clean out the water, nothing massive, but I mean, if there's 2 fish showed over, there's probably another 1,000 of them with them, or a few hundred, whatever that may be, there's fish with them. I don't know what the end pegs had, peg 1, but again, that wind is going down that way, and they are taking full advantage of them. A little bit gutted. I should have been more proactive this morning. To be honest with you, I didn't realise they were open. Adam mentioned something about it yesterday, but he said I'm not sure. So obviously they've got wind of it, went straight down there and took full advantage of it, and fair play, you can't take that away from them. I've definitely seen 1 fish, and they've been very proactive. The rod's moving them all the time, so yeah, fair play. So moving on, I just thought this would be a perfect opportunity as well to touch on, obviously this session for me hasn't been great, but let's touch on some of the highlights of this year. Oh yeah, what a year it's been, and definitely some moments and memories are sort of take away for the rest of my life, if you like, and it always seems to be B1. I think we've got to kick it off with the B1 social, and just prior to the B1 social, myself, Jordan, Luke, Thailand Ben I call him, Rob was with us, and it was mental. We had about 6 30s off the top. Luke had a 31 pounder off the top, and he was buzzing. I'm sure the footage will do it justice. He was just, yeah, he was over the moon, bless him. It was a real pleasure being out on the bank with Lukey and seeing him happy. A PB for Luke, 31.9. Get in there, mate. He's getting the bucket. And then to top it off, I have this absolutely scaly banger.
That is a scaly banger.
Mate. Get that in that net, mate.
Get in there!
Come on.
No!
That's twice you've done that today, Rob. Mate,
that jumped straight back. Absolute beautiful fish, and probably one of the nicest fish today I've had out of B1. And even the bailiffs, I've not seen that fish before, I've never seen that fish before, and all the lads I was with have never seen that fish before, but as you can see on the screen. And then Ben had one with me. We had these just fish, we couldn't keep rods in the water, it was crazy, and what a session that was, or pre-social. And that moves us on to the social. Obviously we've done the jaw, everybody then sort of went to their pegs, and it just kicked off from there really. It didn't take long, people were catching all around the lake, but people that sort of standed out for me on that particular social, you had Corey down the end, peg 1, had some fish pretty quickly. Not only that, he had a few 30s thrown in the mix, you see them on the screen now, and a couple of them were absolute bangers. Eat all! Eat all! So £35 on the nose, mate. Harding hookers again.
Get up there. Tip with orange.
Tip with orange. You love orange, mate, don't you? And it's
orange loves me.
Diagonal to that, you had Connor, and he was nicking the odd fish. And again, you're seeing that on the screen. He nicked a nice one. I think it was 30 something. It looks massive on the pictures in the video. This particular fish, I think it had like a little orange spot on it, but don't quote me on that. But Connor got involved. My cousin was in this peg, and he had a few as well. And then moving up from that, you had Ian. Ian had a few, a couple of 30s and a PB as well. So that was quite a moment. Absolutely brilliant. Got a Peroni and sprayed it all over him. It was quite cool, that was. Get in there! Woo! Oh yeah! Double 30s, double PBs, baby. That's what we like to do. Go on, son. Jack Newman was here. He got involved in the action as well. And then finishing it off with Alfie. Oh my God. Tell me I got that on video. And again, yeah, he's just putting the rod out now because they're out there like dolphins. So excuse the wind. Oh my God. That is ridiculous, mate. Go on top of it. On top of it. Go on, bro. Leave it there. That is ridiculous. Mr. T, Mr. 30. Probably should call him Mr. 40. So not only did he get a couple of bangers from burners, and he come down here and he had the P-fish, which is a fish that Rob had. Here's the pictures of Rob with it, and here it is with T with it, and he had it over 40 pounds of T. What a year you've had, mate, and fair bloomin' play to you, mate. Just unbelievable. And to see the P-fish putting on weight slowly, it's nice to see. For another person, and someone comes to all the socials, supports Parker Baits, and a good friend of mine, and that's little Joshy. I think it was in the peg next door. His dad was here as well at the time, and it was a PB common. Again, you're probably seeing the footage now. What a moment. He was shaking. It was really nice to see the younger generation come through, and just goes to show it doesn't matter how old you are, you can make it happen, and he certainly does that. It seems to be every single social he comes on, he nicks a nosser, as we say at the Parker Baits channel. But unfortunately that beast didn't come out to any of the team this year or myself, and I'm waiting for that moment to happen going into hopefully next year. Maybe you've never come to B1 or Linear Fisheries Complex, and you don't know what's to offer. There's, like I said, a little bit of a taste in your mouth of what it has to offer, and there's some absolute bouters in here, to be fair. Some really nice fish and some big fish coming on as well. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. We've literally got an hour or so now. Obviously I'll keep it in the loop, but it might be me outroing on this next clip, but hopefully it's not. I'm going to keep positive. I've still got my rods out live. I can't really do too much more. I'm chasing a little bit at the moment, although I'm not chasing fish. I'm sort of trying to play about, so I've sort of put a rod in every scenario in front of me, and I would say I've pretty much done that now, within sort of 10 maps, sort of within a zone, within zones all over, but just haven't found them. A little bit gutted, but I mean, you can try, but ultimately if the fish are down that way, which they are, and he's definitely not the nail on the head over there, turning right up and catching one straight away, which also says to me they're down there, and I'd love to know what he's had in peg one, because I reckon they've had a few down there. So yeah, I'll touch base with you before I leave. I'll see you in a bit. Right, well, that is me back in the van, and I'm heading home. Unfortunately it didn't happen, but a nice little quick little video there. Sorry it wasn't the most informative and packed full of fish, but sometimes that's just how it is. That's fishing, I guess. So I'll see you all very soon for another Parker Baits video, and I hope by this point I hope everybody had a lovely Christmas and a good New Year as well, and bring on some absolute monsters coming in to the new year. Peace out, and I'll see you all soon.